Yeah, I'm Dylan Tegtmeier. I was in the Engler program all 4 years of college, graduated in 2016 with a fisheries and wildlife degree, and now I'm the owner, operator, and errand boy for Tegtmeier Investments LLC, and we flip houses and buy apartments and commercial buildings, and I also trade stocks and options under that umbrella. And so, I guess curiosity is it's an interesting thing because it's a delicate little flower, but it is the single most important thing to growing your business that there is. But it can't really exist without the help of other things. And I hope that this is a little helpful to some people in here. I'll just start from the beginning. Way back, I was 10 years old. My brother was 12, and Derek, my brother, got a 22 for Christmas, and we went out hunting the next day. And so we went out in the bush, and a couple minutes passed, and we saw a squirrel up in the tree. And he's like, "All right, it's squirrel season, let's get him." Okay, and so Derek, he lined it up, and miss, miss, and I said, "Hey, can I try?" And I've got one of the most gracious older brothers that you could ask for. I love him to death. He actually let me have a shot. And I dropped it on the first shot, and back in those days, we were young. We didn't have cell phones, but we did have walkie-talkies because we were cool. And so I radioed up. I said, "Mama Bird, this is Savage 2. And Mom answers, "Go ahead for Mama Bird. I shot a squirrel." And I think she was as surprised and impressed as I was, but she said, "Okay, now honey, you're gonna have to use every bit of that squirrel. I don't want you to waste anything, Use every bit of it just like the Indians did." And I said, "Okay." And then so, I butchered it and we ate it, and that was cool. And the hides, I don't know how to tan hides, but I really want to learn. And so began the process of trying every method of hide tanning there was. Of course, my first attempt was a fail, and but I was just too darn curious to give up. And by summertime, I had tanned a couple more hides, and I went ahead and took reserve champion at the fair. And it didn't stop there. Every year after that, I got into trapping and hunting, and I was starting to put up fur, and I started putting up fur for other people. And I had tanned probably about 50 hides by then, and I cleaned the clock at the fair. I took grand champion every year. But enough bragging. So then I had to figure out what am I gonna do with this? I mean, tanning hides is cool, and I feel like it's valuable and unique. And then I heard my uncle talking about the Engler program here at the university. I'm like, I want to go there. And that's like entrepreneurship, like what I'm kind of doing. And so I applied, and I got accepted. And I was thrilled. I ran downstairs that night and woke my mom up and said, "I got accepted, I'm in." And so I would just say that, curiosity got me to that point, but things change when you change the environment around curiosity, because people in particular can be the most helpful or the most hurtful to your curiosity in your business. My mom was super supportive, but in college, people may be your friend, but not a lot of people really care. There are some diamonds that you'll find in your college experience, but by and large, there's a lot of people that are going to shoot down your ideas, and they're going to tell you it's not worth your time. And guys, that's tough. That's really, really tough. And if you don't have a strong resolve backing your curiosity, get a strong person that believes in you. For me right now, that's my wife, but she also plays the other part of it, because curiosity will kill the cat. And I mean, our business has done really well, but I feel like if I didn't have my wife there to tell me, no, we're not going to do that, that's not a good idea. Or what it actually is she'll shake her head and sometimes she'll cry. It happens in a marriage. It's kind of normal. I cry sometimes too. But what it forces me to do is not just be curious to the starting point, but be curious like through the next steps of the race. Actually finding out like what are the costs to rehab this project, or what tenants are going to fill this building. Right now we're looking at purchasing a 17,000 square foot commercial building, and it needs the works. It's going to need 1.2 million just to renovate it, and then we need to find people to fill it. And so, gosh, my curiosity is going crazy right now, and it's making me lose a lot of sleep. But I digress. Okay. So the thing about curiosity is you got to feed it. It's not just enough to like sit there and be curious. When I was in elementary at recess, we'd play the imaginary games like Pokemon and like Yu-Gi-Oh, and we had like Pokemon battles, and we'd be like throwing our Pokeballs and say Charizard, Flamethrower, attack. And so that's curiosity with nothing around it. In college, curiosity has resources. And when I was in college, I tried to save money by living with my dad. And it was nice because I got nice and quiet time, and I had all my stuff, and my room was a mess. My bed was a queen-size bed, and 1/4 of it was where I slept, and then the other 3/4, this is preparing me for marriage because I get like 1/4 of the bed. The other 3/4 was textbooks and stock market books and like annual reports and a bunch of journals, and those resources are so important. Like right now, when I'm being curious about real estate, I sit in front of a computer and I watch a ton of YouTube videos, and I call a bunch of contractors with my cell phone, and I've got like the mass of journals. Journals are really important too. If you back your curiosity with some deliberation and records, then you will actually grow. Trust me, you will grow. I'm so glad she brought up her journals because I brought mine today too, and left the others at home. Yeah. The resources around your curiosity are what's actually going to provide the fuel to grow your business, and trust me, it will grow. And so I guess that brings us to where we are today, and I would just end with commitment to your curiosity, because especially when you're just in the grind of things. If you go out and get a job, that's fine, and it's gonna provide for you, but it's also going to like put you in a little bit of a rut. And with everything else in life, I have a job, by the way. I work for the Air National Guard full time, and then I do this on my off days, so I work like 80-hour weeks, but that's pretty normal. Anyways, when you get in that rut, you either need somebody to pull you out, or you need some systems around your life to tell you like, this time is business development time, where you're just going to sit in your environment for curiosity, and you're going to develop that business, because otherwise it isn't going to happen. And yeah, I'd go ahead and close with that.